and welcome to Glenwood News. I'm your host, Coulter. For those of you that don't know, Glenwood News is a new show that we will be doing. It will be every week. The first part will be about academics, and the second part will be about athletics. So first, we're going to start off with Glenwood's headmaster, Mr. Mitchum. And Mr. Mitchum, I thank you for allowing us to have the show and joining us today.
No problem, Greg. Appreciate y'all having the show for us.
And Mr. Mitchum, let me ask you, for those who don't know, if you would tell us a little bit about Glenwood's history.
What history I know, Craig? Glenwood began back in 1970 as one of the original members back then of the Alabama Private School Association. Since then, the name has changed to the Alabama Independent School Association. Back then, a group of parents got together and decided to form the school here at Glenwood. I understand there were about 200 students the first year that they had the school. And they had the school was in the main elementary building at that time. Of course, now the school has grown up to have the upper school. And the parents, I understand, wanted to form a school based upon Christian values with a traditional curriculum. That's basically how the school got started. They had 7 graduates in the first graduating class back in 1970.
Dang, only 7.
Only 7, and I think we have 59 graduating this year.
So we've grown.
I think tuition back then was $400 and now it's $6,500. So inflation's got tuition.
All right. Well, Mr. Mitchum, Glenwood has really grown in recent years. What is your enrollment up to at this point?
This current year we're at 686, and we have pre-registered already for next year 652. So we feel like we'll be approaching 700 for the 2018-2019 school year.
That's good. That's good. And first of all, how many years have you been at Glenwood?
This is my 5th year at Glenwood.
5th year.
Yeah. 40th year overall in education.
Okay. Now, if you would discuss some of the schools that you were at before Glenwood.
I spent 30 years in public school, and for the last 10 years I've been in private school. So I've had, that's my 40 years in education. Private school, of course, is very different from public schools, and for all the right reasons. And I've really enjoyed my 10 years in private school. I feel like I've kind of died and gone to heaven.
Yeah. Well, you like private school because I'm here? Or?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, mainly because your sister came before you.
Oh. All right. Well, what has attributed to all this growth here?
I think several factors. Glenwood has always been known as an athletic school, but I think we've improved our academics so much in the last 5 years, bringing quality teachers in, that it really made a difference in our academic program. And I think now, I don't think I'm biased, but I think now we have the best combination of academics and athletics of any school in the river region. A lot of that is attributed to we have an outstanding board of trustees that really support the school and allow us to do what we have to do to run the school. And with that comes great parents and students that really make it do what it does today.
All right. Let's see. I know at the beginning of the year, it was completely full. There was there was no students being accepted at the start.
We had to cut off enrollment at 686 at the beginning of the school year. We try to keep our classroom sizes down to 20 or less. That's a good thing for us to do. And right now we cannot handle more than 70 for next year. So we're getting close to being full for next year as well.
Okay. Now, if you would, for like the parents who want to send their kids here and stuff, if you would tell them, how do they apply here?
First of all, they need to hurry because we're almost on the verge of a waiting list. Our application for admission is online. Go to the Glenwood Gators website, and you can see the application there. Or you can call Ms. Heather Davenport here in the main office, and she will walk you through the registration process.
All right, and I just applied too, so you only have to deal with me for one more year, Mr. Mitchell.
That's assuming you graduate.
Yeah. I think I can make it.
I think you made it this far, you're not going to mess up the last year.
Yeah, not the last year. All right, and academic-wise, what is happening at Glenwood this spring?
Well, the seniors have already think they graduated. It's just a senior thing, and once Christmas gets here, senioritis takes effect. But no, we're just winding down academically, and we're looking forward for final exam. Seniors have 4 weeks left in school, and great thing happened yesterday academically was our math team won first place in the Southern Union math tournament, competing against both public and private schools, which is very good for us. So those things are happening. Our 8th grade class is getting ready to take, like you did back in the day, to take their annual trip to Washington, D.C. in 2 weeks. So that's very exciting for our 8th grade students to be doing that. So, just winding down the school year and just getting ready to graduate with 59 seniors, May the 24th.
Yeah, and you're talking about, we were talking about senioritis earlier. Hey, senioritis kicked in my sophomore year.
Yeah, but you come out of it a little bit.
Yeah, I've come out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. And if you would, talk a little bit about the lower school and what are you most proud of kindergarten through 5th grade?
Well, like you, a lot of people think we started kindergarten, but 3 years ago we started a pre-K program. We serve all the way down now to 6-week-olds.
Oh.
I think that's been one of the biggest pluses that we've done recently is to have a daycare program for our families that cannot find quality daycare throughout the community. We have 2 classes there, 1-year-olds and 2-year-olds, that have really made a difference enrollment-wise. And we're of the impression that we can get kids into Glenwood early, that we'll have a better chance of keeping them all the way through the 12th grade. So that's one of the biggest things that we've done. And of course, Dr. Graham does a great job and with her teachers there in the elementary school. And, we're just blessed right now to have a great staff, both elementary school and the high school level.
Okay. And then I'm going to ask you what you're most proud of about the upper school, besides me being here. What are you most proud of?
Well, I'm just proud of all of our kids. We have such a great group of students and the support that their families give us, and it's just tremendous to be able to come to work every day and enjoy coming to work and knowing you're going to be around people that want to be in school. And unlike a lot of schools where kids just come because they have to, kids come to Glenwood because they want to. And I think that's the biggest difference that we have, and parents pay good money for their kids to come here, and, kids are expected to behave, and we do, and, it's just about educating our kids, and that's what an educator wants to do.
Okay. And are there any big projects on the horizon for you right now?
You got to get the senior class graduated. That's always big. Now, really, last year we had a big construction project. We had to build 6 new classrooms in our main building to house our additional growth of students. We had to build an administrative office here and a new media center combination. Next biggest thing that we're looking at, we have a big sewage issue here at Glenwood. For lack of, we have new septic tanks, and with our growth in enrollment right now, we're looking at approaching both Smiths, City of Smiths and City of Phoenix City. We desperately need to tap on the city sewage somewhere, and we're pursuing that avenue right now to handle our student population, and also looking at the possibility of doing a new athletic-wise, a new weight room, concession stand combination for our athletic program overall. And that's the 2 main projects that we're considering right now as far as major projects.
Okay. Now, the new weight room, is there like are y'all still thinking about it, or is there a set time that y'all are sure it will be done, or are y'all still working on it?
We're trying to get this sewage issue worked out first, because I don't want to spend the $40,000 to $50,000 on putting in septic lines there, where if we tap on sewage, we can put that money toward the building.
Right.
So everything right now is in the discussion stages.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Mitchum, thank you for joining us. And don't go anywhere. We will be right back with Coach Perdue on Glenwood News. Hi, and welcome back to Glenwood News. So we are here with the Glenwood boys basketball coach and softball coach, Coach Dusty Perdue. And Coach Perdue, thank you for joining us.
No problem, Craig. Thanks for having me.
And Coach Perdue, first of all, how many state championships have you won with basketball and softball?
Well, with basketball, I've won 3. With softball, I've won 6. We'll count the JVs too. They need to be counted. I've won 2 in basketball and JV, and 1 in softball and JV. But varsity, I've won 6 in softball and 3 in basketball.
Okay. Now, what was it that? First of all, where all have you coached?
Well, I started my coaching career in high school at Calvary Christian over in Columbus, and I was there for 2 years, and got to compete against Coach Doug Key, who was the coach here. He saw something in me. He knew of me from my parents. I'm a second-generation coach. My parents are Debbie and Bubba Ball, or I could say Bubba and Debbie Ball, whichever way you want to put it. But they're both retired, and I became a coach at Calvary. I coached a lot of Little League in the years, 9 years of Little League baseball, and got involved at Calvary Christian coaching. And then Coach Key saw me when we played Calvary and Glenwood played, and gave me a call one day. And he asked me if I wanted to come over and be his assistant coach at Glenwood. And I came over, was the assistant coach 1 year. The next year, he was ready to step down and gave me the head job in 2005.
Okay. And that turned you into the man, the myth, the legend?
I don't know about all that. I know that Coach Key's a legend. I look at him as like my second dad. I've been very fortunate to have some good guys in my life that have led me in the right way, and that started me here, and I've been here since 2005. I've loved this place, and been very involved in multiple sports, but have had a good foundation here at Glenwood, and have been around some great people like yourself, Craig.
All right. Well, Coach Perdue, so we're now in softball season, but if you would quickly reflect on your boys' basketball team's past season.
This past year we were 14-13, made it to the Elite 8. Not as far as we've made it in the past, but worked real hard to get to that point. Had a hard-working team. Played really, really hard. Just fell a couple points short of beating Lakeside to get to the Final Four. I was proud of this year's team. A lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with the team. They worked really hard, and we were probably overachievers and not underachievers. And was led by some good guys that are going on to play at different places as far as football scholarships, baseball scholarships. Nick Adams just signed a scholarship to play baseball at Columbus State. Christian Clausell led that team. He's going to play Waldorf University in Iowa, but very excited about those guys' future. I'm excited about the guys coming back, but had a good season. Probably not where everybody wanted to finish, but can't always win them.
All right, and Coach Perdue, you got to mention one of the most important parts. You swept Lee Scott.
I did sweep Lee Scott. I didn't, but my players did. We always rise to the occasion playing against the rival, and we did beat Lee Scott twice, and that's a big deal around here to these guys. So I guess you could say we won the state championship as far as this area is concerned.
Now, how long have you been at Glenwood?
Since 2005. Like I said earlier, since 2005. Then I left. I was here for 4 years as full time as at the school and as the basketball and softball coach. I left 2 years and went to Chattahoochee Valley and was the girls coach there for 2 years. But in those 2 years, the people here at Glenwood let me be the softball coach, continue to be the softball coach in the spring because it didn't interfere. So I've been here since 2005, off and on every year.
Okay. Now, Coach, I think you said this earlier, but have you coached like other sports besides basketball and softball?
For 8 years here at Glenwood, I coached all 3 sports:
Okay.
football, basketball, and softball. In the last 3 years, I've given up football, so I coach basketball and softball. I was the volleyball coach 1 year. I was the wingers volleyball coach 1 year. We went 1-18, and after that, they decided to find another volleyball coach, which was smart on their part. So I was there to get the program started. I got the girls out there that were my softball players and some of the basketball players, and they've taken off. They've done really well since I let that go.
All right. Now, how have the programs changed since you have started here?
Well, First of all, we're led by a great guy, and Tim Fanning is our athletic director. He's been here for almost 20 years now. He has set the bar with his baseball program, which they've won 23 some odd, 24. They're looking for 23 this year, state championships, and we're led by him. So he set the bar really high. That's what we've done, is try to build our programs into what he has built. That's what I've done with my softball program. Basketball was right at the brink of winning when I got here. They've won 4 state championships in basketball. I've won 3 of the 4. So we've done really good in trying to get to the level that Coach Fanning has set for us in girls basketball, boys basketball. Volleyball came in second this year, and baseball and softball. So soccer has done well. Girls have won 5 or 6 state championships in a row in soccer. Anyway, they're going for number 6.
I think it's 5.
Yeah, they were going for number 6 this year, and the boys soccer team's done well. So we've started track. We're in the middle of the track right now while we're talking, in the middle of the state track. So we've done a lot of good things. We're wanting to fight for the what they call the Chairman's Award every year, and that's for the to win the state, to be the overall best athletic department in the state in the AISA, and we fight for that every year. So we've done a lot of good things here. I've seen programs come a long way.
All right. And first of all, I want to ask you what your record is in softball, and are you where you would like to be this point in the season?
We're 36-10 going into this weekend. I am where I want to be at this point. We just won the area championship, so we get an automatic bid into the state tournament. The region tournament is on April the 26th at Lagoon Park in Montgomery, and that's seeding purposes only to get to the state tournament. But we're in the state tournament. Played really well this year. Kaysen Boatner, who came over as a transfer, broke our single season home run record last week. She's hit 20 now. The record was 17. Ashley Gallant is on the mound in the circle. Done a really good job for us this year. Hope Gallant is our catcher. Done really well for us this year. Cam Bentz is our other senior with Kaysen. She's the leader of our team at shortstop. She's done a really good job. So our softball program is where I want it to be. We're hitting the ball really well right now. I just hope that we can continue that into May.
Okay. Now, what does success look like for you this season?
Anything less than win the state championship, we have failed. And my girls know that. We have won 3 in a row. We're trying to do something that's never been done at this school in softball or in multiple sports, is win 4 in a row. So our hashtag on all social media this year is Fight for 4, hashtag Fight for 4, and that's what we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to our 4th straight state championship.
Fight for 4. I like it, Coach.
Hashtag Fight for 4. I better see it on all your social media, Craig.
All right. I'll be sure and handle that.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Now, Coach Perdue, we thank you for joining us. And before we go, I'm going to give an update on all the other sports going on right now. So, baseball yesterday defeated Northside Methodist in a doubleheader. They won both games 11-4 and 8-1. They will be playing Edgewood at home on Monday at 4:30. And then the JV State baseball tournament, it actually started yesterday, but Glenwood had a bye, so they're starting today. And boys and girls soccer will be in the first round playoffs on Monday. And boys golf will be in a tournament at Bagby hosted by Lakeside on Monday. And the JV softball state tournament starts today too. So once again, Coach Perdue, thank you for joining us.
No, thank you, Craig. I think this is a great thing. I think you're great at this. Keep up the good work. I want to tell you a little story about Craig before we leave. Craig was my videographer one year for basketball, and I got to spend a lot of time with Craig. He was a great guy. He does a great job. He cares about this school, and I like this. You're doing a great job. I hope you have a lot of success.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Glad you're here. And thank y'all for joining us. And you're watching CTV Beam, Channel 7, Glenwood News. I'm Craig Coulter. I'll see you next time.